call the member for McKellar.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Like many Australians at Christmas, birthdays, Father's or Mother's Day, I've received and given gift cards as a present. It is one of the simplest and easiest gifts for loved ones or an office kringle. There is nothing worse than going to David Jones, JB Hi-Fi or Bunnings, picking the thing you want or need, and once at the counter realising the gift card has expired. It is essentially lost money. After all, there is no expiration date on money. This is why I'm happy to see this bill before the Parliament. This will be fairer for consumers and give that certainty that consumers and businesses need. No longer will people wake up on Christmas Day, unwrap a gift from their loved ones or uncle, see a gift card and worry about onerous terms and conditions that can only be viewed through a microscope with the aid of a magnifying glass and the expiry timeframes. When we talk in this place about economic reform, we normally talk about the importance of creating greater wealth for our community and the people who live in Australia, whether that's more job opportunities, whether that's lower taxes, more innovation or whatever. But this too is economic reform, because it's going to benefit the lives of so many Australians, providing them with opportunities to use gift cards that previously they couldn't use because the expiry date had taken place. This is major economic reform. This is what a government that governs for the many and not the few looks like. We, Liberals, have taken on in the past big oil and big tobacco, and today we will take on the big gift card industry. The previous speaker said that he was worried about the difference between state laws and the federal law. Well, why this law is so important is that the government is aware that there are some people in places like Tasmania who have been considering setting up effectively call centres to sell gift cards into New South Wales and South Australia, where consumers, unsuspectingly, not realising that they weren't covered by the laws introduced by the excellent State Minister Matt Keane, the Minister for Better Regulation. And as Mr Keane has pointed out, sometimes better regulation is more regulation. But today we are here to praise smarter regulation, because these gift card boiler rooms that we feared might be established in places like Tasmania, selling into unsuspecting consumers of New South Wales, under this law that will not be possible. Nowhere will you be able to take advantage of Australian consumers now under this law, because when this government talks about putting people before profit, it knows that you can't have profit without people. And that is why when Minister Robert, who has introduced this excellent piece of legislation, says that as he walks down outside stores and shopping malls in Brisbane and the Gold Coast, that people are coming up and hugging him, it is no longer just because of his rugged good looks. It's because he's introduced a piece of legislation that the people of Australia love. And he is a beloved minister of this government. And it's an example of how we are responding to the needs of consumers, not just in New South Wales and in Australia, but right around Australia. Therefore, it is disappointing to see that the Labor Party felt it necessary to move amendments to this incredibly good piece of legislation. What is Minister Roberts to say to people when they come and hug him up in the street, unsuspecting as they may be? Is he to say, well, we are trying to get this done, but the Labor Party has moved amendments to it? Hopefully they will see that this piece of legislation is critical economic reform. It is critical to advancing the needs and indeed the importance of what all consumers need in this country. Because when we make the lives of one consumer better, we make the lives of all Australians better. Thank you, Mr Speaker.